What's going on, folks? I'm really stoked because the band Dragony have released a new song here called Shadow and Flame. Looking forward to checking this out, so I'm not going to blab on and on. Let's just get on with it. Rangers, go. Not too shabby, yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like there's like a certain level of like expectation, with like certain bands and stuff like that, and Dragony or Dragony, and so there's almost unfairly, it's like there's always like a certain level of expectations that the listener has when going into listening to a new song by certain bands. For me anyway, Dragony being one of them. And so this song, while there's nothing wrong with it by any stretch, it's a solid song. But to me, it just feels like it's a bit like safe or a bit familiar with some of the melodies, like the chorus and things like that, and doesn't quite really hit that mark of level of expectation, I guess, that one would have, for the band, which again, it's like unfair, but so yeah, well, again, there's nothing wrong with it. Like, there's not much to really even like critique aside from it just feeling quite safe, quite familiar. I love the orchestrations, like there in the beginning and stuff was really cool, really powerful. There, like the beginning of the bridge, I think it was really cool, and throughout the song, you can hear like the orchestrations really kind of pushing the scope and scale of the song higher. So yeah, I really enjoyed the orchestrations. I like the guitar work too. Great solo, great riffs as well too. There's some spots it's real heavy. Like, again, I really like those moments that really hit. Like the beginning with the orchestrations and all that, and then like the guitar chimes in, and then they're like in the beginning of the bridge and the whole bridge itself. They're a bit more impactful, I would say, than like the verses and the chorus. And so maybe that maybe the chorus could have like captured a little bit more. I mean, there's definitely some bombast there in the chorus, but it doesn't quite reach that level of bombast that some of the other moments have, the musical moments, really. So it feels like it could have been pushed maybe just a smidge larger to kind of match those moments to kind of get you back up, because like the intro, it kind of starts up here, then kind of dips down a bit for like the verses, which is not it's typical, that the verses will kind of calm down a little bit and then rise back up like into the chorus. But even like the chorus, it kind of like comes up here, so you never really get back up to this moment until a little bit later, again, musically. But it just feels like maybe the chorus could have reached those same heights just to kind of tie it all together and just really, really hit. But yeah, I mean, so you kind of get the verses. Oh, I do like the drum work too. There's some nice rolls and things done in there with the drums. But yeah, the verses kind of play out, as one would expect. I mean, I just love his voice though. So it's like whenever I hear Siegfried start singing, it's like, heck yeah, it's a familiar voice that, yeah, holds a lot of memories, listening to older Dragony and just Dragony through the years. And even, his time with Visions of Atlantis and, stuff like that. So it's like, all right, sweet, here we go. He's just got a really solid voice. A really unique voice, too. It's like you hear his voice, it's like instantly, that's Siegfried, But, so yeah, the verses kind of play out. The pre-chorus definitely builds up into the chorus, so I do like how that kind of sets the stage for that. And then the chorus goes, and again, there's nothing wrong with the chorus. It just feels familiar, It just, so it's like that engagement factor, to me anyway, is a little bit lost, because it's like, oh, okay, we're kind of going through some familiar beats here with the way this chorus plays out and things like that, but the melody's decent, but it just sounds like, it's like you've heard it before, really, so that's really like my only thing, like with this song. It just kind of, as a whole, even just sounds a little too familiar, like, we've heard it before. So yeah, I mean, but that doesn't mean it's like a bad song, because it's not by any stretch. It's a solid song, just doesn't quite reach like higher than that in my opinion, just because of its like familiarity and sound and things like that. But yeah, I mean the vocals were really solid. Like I said, I liked a lot of the guitar work, the solo, and the orchestrations were really wonderful. Really love those elements too, and yeah, so that's really that. It just just feels like a bit of like a safe song, something that doesn't necessarily grab you by the shirt collar and say, hey, pay attention to this. Like, boom, you're not like just sucked in my opinion. But yeah, I'm really curious though to see if they're working on a new album or anything like that. That would be tight. But anywho, that's really my thoughts on this song. Let me know, folks, in the comments down below. What do you think of this one? Be very curious to know y'all's thoughts. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time. Ranger, out.